All right, all right. What's up, everyone? Happy Monday. How you guys doing? I almost said Sunday. I'm so used to streaming on Sundays, but unfortunately, I've been messing up. I've been goofing. Some stuff has just happened over the last 2 weekends, and I just haven't had time to stream. So I want to apologize up front for that. I might have to consider a schedule change. I'm not too sure about that, to be honest, just because of I like how the Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday works. But if things keep happening, I might have to change things up. We'll have to wait and see. But let me go ahead and get the music started here, and we can go ahead and say hello and get the party started. Now, unfortunately, I thought I was more prepared, and I am not. Come on, music. There we go. Genre. Come on. What the heck? Oh, they took out. Oh, this is interesting. All right, let me just switch cameras here. What's up, guys? So you didn't, where you guys were just staring at nothing. Well, at least the intro screen. They changed some stuff on the music playlist that I usually listen to, and I do not like it, to be honest. Let's do Bean, maybe. No. Let's do. Let's try this. I'm gonna do it by. Yeah, let's do that. All right. Let's go ahead and switch. I already switched cameras here. Let's go ahead and say hello to everyone in chat. Why isn't chat working? Hold on, guys. For some reason, chat is not popping up for me. There we go. Had to refresh the page. Pop out chat. All right. Let's see. Armand. Hey, Johnny. Hey, crew. Good to see you, my friend. How you doing? Darren Michaels. Hey. How you doing, my friend? Thank you so much for stopping by. It's good to see you. Josh V. Hype. Let's go. Good to see you as well, my friend. Hope you're doing good. Perthish. Yo. What's up, man? How you doing? Sky Knight. What's up, gang? Good to see you, Sky Knight, as always. Andre Oliveira. Hello, Johnny. Haven't seen one of your streams in too long. Sorry, no worries, my friend. How have you been? I've been doing good. We've been doing good. The trades have been doing pretty good so far. Since you haven't been here in a while, I kind of fill you in on what's going on when it comes to how we're viewing things, our perspective, the trades we're taking, etc. But yeah, good to see you though. Got stopped out my Matic trade, unfortunately. Oh man, we'll take a look at Matic. I haven't seen that. Alif, how you doing, my friend? Good to see you. New to David Tech crew, but not crypto. Mark, thank you so much for stopping by. Yeah, I did post that I was going to be streaming, so I know there's a couple people are here from David's group, so welcome to the channel. I really do appreciate it. If you guys don't know me or who I am, my name is John or Johnny, either one goes. I usually give this little introduction every time I go do David's streams or do streams on David's channel. But yeah, all we do here is trade ABCs. If you want to learn more, would love to have you. It's basically a concept that we go over. All right, we're looking at and identifying trends in groups of threes, whether it's to the upside, to the downside, and all we're doing is taking long or shorts based off of certain pivots that is established by the market itself. I'll show you guys plenty of examples. We can go ahead and talk about trades that we're in, positions we're looking for, etc. Oh, no, that stays red. And all we're doing, once these setups actually complete, once we get an extension past the pivot of the A, depending on if it's the upside or downside, we're looking at some sort of reversal or continuation setup. So it's easy as that. You know, even though it is fundamentally easy, there is a little bit of, I guess, a learning curve when it comes to this, especially if you're not used to how I do things. But once you get kind of the main concepts down and understand what ABCs are all about, it's really straightforward, guys. It's really straightforward. And the rest is we just let the market decide what it wants to do. Talk about the options available, and we can kind of go ahead and figure out what to kind of expect going forward. Okay, guys, this playlist is a little bit weird. Okay. Let's see. LA Wave Theory. So it actually is a modified version of it. So the problem with LA Wave Theory is to me, in my opinion, it's a very complex, convoluted system. You're identifying trends instead of, okay, in Elliott wave perspective, you're identifying trends in groups of 5s and 3s, all right? But the problem with this is that you're getting very technical when it comes to what you're looking for. Well, let me turn down the music a little more. All right. So the thing is with Elliott wave theory is that you're looking for a very specific set of rules. You're looking to identify trends in certain ways. And basically you're adding a lot of different variables to it. And when it comes to any system, the more variables and rules that you have or add to the strategy, the more complicated it gets. And the problem with complicated strategies in trading is that, one, it kind of blurs your idea or perspective of what really matters or the trades that you should be focusing on. And also you run into a thing called option paralysis, analysis paralysis, either or. It's basically where you come up with a lot of different variations of what could be going on, to the point to where it makes it almost, well, I won't say impossible, it makes it very hard, if not almost impossible, to come up with a very consistent and concise strategy. And so basically in Elliott wave theory, you know, the third wave's always the longest. Fourth wave can't go past the pivot of the first. You have fifth. You can also run into third wave extensions, fifth wave extensions. When you run into corrections, you have regular expanded flats. You have irregular flats. You have I forget another version. I forgot what it is, but basically where the C leg stops short of the pivot of the A. There's so many different variations. You know, the C wave is a 335, WXYs are 333s. You're looking for certain fib extension or fib retracement targets, fib extension targets. There's also a lot of different like rules and variables that you can come up with Elliott wave theory. But what I have done and what my what other people have done using the strategy is, the main purpose of this is to kind of take the extra steps out of it and focus on the setups that matter. So your regular 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is actually made up of basically an ABC. Now, in a textbook scenario, this happens sometimes, but not too often. Is what'll happen is your 1, 2, 3 is actually your larger A, your fourth is your B, and your fifth is your C. All right. So instead of looking at things from a 5-wave perspective, we try to kind of condense things and view it from an ABC perspective, or just groups of 3s. We just say ABC to make things very straightforward and easy. I'll show you some examples of how, you know, we've had success using this in the past. We've nailed the bit. We pretty much longed the Bitcoin bottom. I don't think anyone has. I always say this because it's pretty much true. I haven't seen anyone else on the internet nail the bottom as closely as we have, which with less shit on their screen. That's my motto. All we needed, all right, once you got that dump off of the FTX dump, we needed to find an A pullback, and a continuation. If I zoom in a little bit further, so you can see we had our original downtrend, pullback, extension lower. And all we needed, like I said, I'm not looking for fib extension targets. I'm not looking for any particular targets. All I need is price to cross back below, or sorry, cross below a certain pivot, in this case, which is this A pivot at around 15,460, and then get back above. As soon as we get back above, we're in the trade. So I pretty much missed the bottom by probably like $10, maybe $20, and was able to basically ride that wave all the way to about here. So that's why I took profit on that setup. Another good trade that we took was a short setup here. All right, we took this ABC, and as long as price remains below this pivot, sorry, this is the one. I messed that up. As long as price is back below that previous pivot, we're looking to short. We entered, we didn't get stopped out, and we were able to ride the short of the FTX dump. I took profit on that setup off of this ABC here, off of that pivot. So that was a nice trade. Trying to think of other trades that we nailed in the past. Some of my best ones were those. I nailed this one here. I can go on and about previous examples, but what's most importantly is how we kind of do things in the present and look for in the future. If you want me to show you more examples, I can, but just to give you a general gist of what I'm looking for, all I need is a larger set of trends on a larger time frame. And let's see. Yeah, I'll appreciate a recap. Yeah, absolutely, Andrea. I'll go over that in a second here. Same for Matic for me. Change the conditional to ABC, the C leg of Matic. D-shuffle, LOL, less is better. Yes, less is more in trading. It's another concept I pretty much live by. But I guess we can go ahead and segue this into our current update, what is going on, give you guys a recap of what is most likely could happen and what can happen. For those who are new, I like to go all over a larger perspective, a more macro idea, talk about what is possible when it comes to the ideas of either is this bear market ending, have we bottomed, or are we looking for more? The best way for me to do this is this. All right. So the best way for me to do this is starting from the beginning of the bear market and look at possible setups of what could be looking for, the structure of the waves, and then we can go ahead and figure out exactly what is possible. So we have an ABC for an A, ABC for a B, ABC for a C. All right. And one of the things that I talk about, and this is more common on smaller time frames, but this can absolutely happen on a larger perspective or macro setup that we're looking at, is sometimes what could happen if you have an ABC to the downside or an ABC to the to the upside, excuse me. What can happen is you'll have your setup, all right, you'll establish your pivot here, all right, and then price will go ahead and actually initially like go in your favor, get the entry, get the position filled, but it'll find some sort of resistance or support depending on which direction, and it'll actually continue further. All right, same thing here. All right, once you establish that resistance, you take the short, it goes in your favor, finds support, bounces. What actually ends up happening is that your initial ABC was actually part of a larger A wave. You just didn't realize it. So once you establish that, you can get rid of the larger setups. You can see you're left with a larger set of ABCs. All right, so like that is the best idea, or best way to explain that idea. And it does happen a lot on smaller time frames, but it absolutely can happen on larger perspective as well. So let me just show you what I'm looking for. So in this scenario, in this setup, we're looking at the bear market and we have to ask ourselves, is this the beginning of something or the end of something? And in my opinion, you can make an argument for either or, each side. I would personally, if I had to pick one or the other, I'm a little bit more bearish, but I can absolutely be wrong. I'll give you an argument for both sides. Let's do the most bearish perspective. The most bearish perspective is that we have an ABC here. We actually put in an ABC top for a potential B wave. Wow, I cannot, my hands are not steady right now for some reason. So we put in a potential B wave. All right, so we have an A to a B, and if this is going to be the bearish case scenario, all right, this is the worst case scenario for price or BTC at the moment. We actually need to come back down, put in a lower low past the previous A, and then we can talk about possibly starting a new bull market or ending this bear market. Right, that is the worst case scenario. I'm not saying this is going to happen, but this is absolutely the worst case scenario, and probably within this set of waves here, we're probably going to get some sort of A to a B to a C. Maybe not that extreme, but something like that. Definitely possible. Well, that's the ideal scenario I'm looking for, but that's probably what's going to happen on a larger scale. So that is the bearish case scenario. The bullish case scenario is that maybe this ABC is all we get, right? We have an ABC here, and within our ABC, within our C leg, we have an ABC. Now, a lot of the times, ABCs have their own set of ABCs within each wave. It doesn't happen every time, but it is an ideal scenario. So let's say you have an ABC structure here. A lot of the times you'll get some sort of ABC within each one of these waves. Like I said, it's not perfect every time, but a lot of the times we can go ahead and trace and look for actual ABCs within each set of waves. So we have an ABC within the C. We confirmed a possible reversal because we got back above the previous pivot of the A, which is around 17,600, right? And for me, that is a possible confirmation that we have bottomed. If this is going to be a scenario to where we are bullish, we can break down the next two ideas into a more bullish and more bullish in the shorter to medium term, and then a more bullish in the longer term, more bearish in the shorter and medium term. From there, right, we do have an ABC within this uptrend. All right, so if I go to a 4-hour time frame, this is an A. Well, we have an ABC for an A. We have a B wave here and a C wave here. There's two main scenarios I can see happening at the moment for BTC. Either one, we remain below this pivot and we do not reclaim back above just yet. And this leads us to possibly be building a much larger A to a B to a C. So we have an ABC to an A. We're actually probably going to pull back, test some lower areas of support to form a B wave, and then look for continuation higher. That is probably the best case scenario. Or even still, this B leg can be elongated and we can go all the way back down to 17.6. But as long as we don't put in a new low, that is going to be a larger B wave. Remember, this is only contingent if, or this only works if we go ahead and remain above the previous low. So that could be the case. The other case scenario is that maybe this C leg isn't done yet, or sorry, this wave isn't done, and maybe we actually go ahead and test a lot higher. I'm personally not on this. I wouldn't say this is my favorite option, but it definitely is possible. If we are going to look at either case scenario, I want to show you guys the supports and the resistance levels above and below us to go ahead and show you where price can go to if we are going to go to one direction or the other. Let's do the bears first. So we're going to look at supports below us and show you guys the levels that matter and where I think price can find support off of. Now that we have an established uptrend with an ABC, I can go back and look at the dips, and that's going to be our local areas of support on the way down. So we have 24.8, we have 19.5. Maybe you can make an argument for 21.3. I'm not the biggest fan of that, but let's just say that's an idea. And then honestly, we could probably go back down to test 17.6 if we fail, or if we break below 19.5, and then ultimately the previous low. That is going to be the ideal case scenario for the bulls, that we find support in this range, depending on which area you want to look for. That is the support in the areas you can look for the bearish case scenario. The bullish case scenario, there's a couple areas above we have to keep in mind and understand that price definitely can go ahead and test these areas of resistance, right? And if one level breaks, we can look for the next one. If the next level after that breaks, we can look for the next one. So we have this set up off of 31,000, which is the previous ABC, right? That is a heavy area of resistance. If we could break above that, the next area to test is around the 32,425 region, which is this previous high here. Once price can break through that, and if price can break through that, I really don't see anything till about maybe 43K. But in my opinion, I think 48K is ultimately the level we're going to go ahead and test. I don't see this 43K resistance or 42,965, 970. I don't really see that level being too significant, just because it's not a significant break in trend. To me, this looks like one continuous downtrend with little pops in between, but it's not a clear separation. And I like to define my local highs and lows based off clear separations and trend. So we don't really have that, but I will consider it. But ultimately, I think 48K is in the cards. So as you can see, the resistance above us is, there's not as many resistance levels as there is support. But in my opinion, the resistance areas above are way more significant and hold a lot more significance than supports below. If we break above and continue to pump, that is going to be a very bullish case scenario. But if we reject, there's a lot of safety nets below us to catch us. So just keep that in mind. There's nothing wrong with testing areas of support. We have the setup for it, right? To me, this is a clear as day ABC. I haven't seen one of these in a very long time, right? Even throughout this entirety of this uptrend, we had an ABC, right? But we came back down, kind of tested a pivot of the A, but it ended up turning into its own ABC. So to me, I am still short. I'm currently shorting as long as we're below 31,050, or depending on your exchange, whatever whatever the previous pivot of this high is. That is the shorts that I'm currently holding. As well as, if I go a little bit more zoomed into this time frame, right? We're going to go ahead and talk about how we can play into the larger bullish potential position. So once I identify, we have an ABC here. All right, as long as we're above, this is a potential bullish pivot, and I'm still holding this trade. All right, I'm holding this trade, and I'm looking for 48K. This is the trade that is going to carry us to 48K if we are going to go up there. This is my personal opinion. It's just a matter of waiting. We allowed price to give us the opportunity to go ahead and take the trade, and from there we can start considering and working towards looking at the next level or next areas where price can go to. But just keep that in mind, guys. When we do this, all right, when I take my trades, I'm aiming for grand slams, all right? Or if you're, let's say, I'm trying to think of another sport. If you're, let's say you like soccer, all right? Or football, if you guys are in Europe, because I know you guys are gonna yell at me. If you guys watch football, all right, I'm looking for a hat trick, all right? I'm going all out. I'm taking as much advantage of price action as I can, right? If this is going to be a larger reversal, we are going to play into the bearish scenario, all right? I'm shorting, and I'm probably going to hold this to about 17K, 15K, depending on where price wants to go. All right, that's the bearish case scenario. As well as, if we are going to be bullish, all right, I am looking for $48,000. All right, and 48K going to be around a 27 risk to reward ratio, but if the bears play out, it's going to be about a 15. So regardless, ideally the bullish case scenario, are going to be walking away a little bit more profit, but regardless, we're going to be walking away in profit for either or direction. Let's see. Matic is pumping. All right, we'll take a look at that in a second. Fed meeting this week, if I'm not mistaken, could cause some volatility. Yes, there is some, I guess, sometimes price likes to go ahead and wait for these Fed meetings to go ahead and take place before it actually starts moving. I hate it, but it's kind of predictable at this point. Jeff Jefferson, how you doing, my friend? Good to see you. I'm doing good. Hope you're doing well as well. Hope you're doing good as well. Send it to 17. I can buy a whole BTC. There you go, D-Shuffle. That's the right attitude. Mark, I'm real bullish. USDT dominance is showing what will happen in the next weeks. Definitely. I definitely think those markers could be good indications. But a Hail Mary, yes, that's another good one, D-Shuffle. But like I said, I'm allowing price to establish what it wants to do. All I'm doing is taking the trades as they pop up, and then from there we can go ahead and wait and ride the wave. Seems like a major inflection point, either reversal or of continuation. RSI on the weekly is showing reversal, but if you look back, the RSI looks similar to what it did before the great run in 2020. Yes, Josh, that is very true. You got to keep that in mind. Remember, when it comes to these situations, even though there is RSI and there is a bearish divergence, remember, if price can respect it, but if it doesn't, All right, it's the ball against the broken window theory. All right, if you guys don't know what the broken window theory is, let me draw a quick picture here. So let's say you take a ball. All right, this is my example of a ball. Let's say you throw it, all right, at a window. This is gonna be my illustration of a window. All right, let's say you throw it at a window. Don't mind the terrible art. All right, so let's say you take a ball and you throw it at a window. First, you're gonna throw it, like, let's say you just do a little toss. All right, and let's say the window doesn't break, but the ball bounces back. Okay, each time you throw the ball harder and harder, and every time you throw it and the window doesn't break and the force doesn't push through the window, push through the window, all right, it's going to generate equal force coming back to you. So in this case, for the divergence, if price is giving you a bullish or bearish divergence, all right, but it doesn't actually play out, the momentum that is used to create that bullish or bearish divergence will actually be used to do the opposite. All right, so in this case, let's do, what do you say, RSI on the weekly? Let's take a look at the RSI quick. Josh, are you using the 14 or 125? All right, so on the RSI, perfect example. We have a bearish divergence, all right, on that one, as well as taking a screenshot of this art. Definitely go ahead, Pratish. It's not the best, but it'll do. 14, okay. So this bearish divergence is there, right? And you can even look at this from a larger, there's even a larger bearish divergence, I believe. Or it's yeah. Let me make sure, hold on. Yeah, it's ever so slight. But there's even a more bearish divergence off of these setups here. So this is a slightly higher high. All right, so you have almost like a double layered divergence, a bearish divergence. But remember, if this divergence doesn't actually play through and price keeps going, the momentum used to actually go ahead and, or sorry, the momentum that was going to be used for the downside is actually going to push price even higher. So that's why I think 48K is definitely in the cards if we are going to go ahead and actually play into the larger possibility of further price action. So just keep that in mind. You're absolutely right, Josh. I see that. It's clear as day. But just keep that in mind. This has happened plenty of times. I feel like I'm watching a game show. Listen to that song. All right, so let's do that. And then did I miss anything? BCH, I'll definitely do BCH. Where else? Anyone else? Matic, BCH Matic. Oh wow, we have 24 people here. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I really do appreciate it. But first, I gotta go ahead and shout out today's sponsor of the stream. Forgot to do that earlier. If you guys are interested, the channel is sponsored. Is being sponsored by Fairdesk. So if you guys are looking for a new platform to trade on, for me, how I trade my strategy, ABCs, Fairdesk is a great platform to go ahead and use. I love the UI. It's very straightforward, very simple, very clear, very concise. All the buttons are here. We use the same leverage principles, as well as I believe at some point API functions are available. And trigger trade will be implemented with Fairdesk hopefully here soon. I haven't got like an actual update recently in a while. Hopefully we can go ahead and get that, so we'll be able to automate our trades sooner than later, hopefully. But yeah, if you guys are interested, if you guys check out the link in the description below, if you sign up, deposit, and trade, it does come back to support me. So if you do like the content that I give here on this channel and would like to support me, that's one of the ways to do so. It's not required, but I would greatly appreciate it. But guys, as always, I always say this. I don't care what exchange, even if it's Bybit, right? But even though Bybit has a really good track record, it's been around forever, or it's been around for a very long time. No exchange is 100% safe. I don't want you to say that to scare any of you, but just keep in mind, things could be good today, but things can absolutely change tomorrow. Never, ever, 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 ever. I could do that all day, the whole day. But never put more than you need or more the amount you need to take a couple trades on. Never put your full stack into an exchange. If something happens tomorrow, and let's say you're not prepared, there might be a situation to where you might get screwed. And I don't want that. I don't want that to happen to you guys. So just be wary. Always be cautious. Never deposit more than maybe 10-20% of what you need to actually just take the trades and move more into the exchange as needed. So just keep that in mind. I practice this on my actual account, on my challenge accounts, everything in between. So just be, I would appreciate it. Would appreciate it as well as I know a couple of you guys are new to the channel. If you guys do like this type of content and you do want to learn more from me and how I trade ABCs and how I do things, I do have my own Discord. So if you guys are interested, right, I do have my own platform. All right, you guys can go ahead and if you guys are interested in joining, we do have our own community. Shout out to my guys. My Discord crew are solid. Shout out to everyone there. Thank you guys so much for signing up and supporting me. You get access to my real-time setups, the trades I'm taking in real time. It's been kind of slow for me just because I've been taking the same trades and holding them for a while. But we nailed the ETH long that we took. Also, telling you guys about the BTT trade that I'm currently in before this pump happened, as well as you get access to the tutorial videos, right? Which is basically how to approach trading from an A to Z perspective. Everything here is basically the bread and butter of what you're going to need, everything from soup to nuts. We go over trading psychology, we go over the basic stuff, how to DCA, if you guys are new, leverage trading principles, tutorials, and then last but not least, the actual ABCs. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. The actual ABCs themselves. So included, you also there's a crash course, which is a 2.5-hour video. If you guys check out this section of the Discord, you guys get access to that. I don't know why I clicked that, but yeah, go ahead, check it out. Like I said, it's not required, but if you do sign up, you get more real-time updates from me, as well as it does come back to support me in the channel, so I would greatly appreciate it. There's a monthly option, and there's also a lifetime option. So if you guys want to go ahead and sign up for a lifetime, pay one and done. I think it's at a steal right now. It's at $200. So you're paying for a couple months up front, but you can basically get access to a lifetime. As the channel grows, and probably as the bull market, when the bull market starts amping up, I probably will have to increase the price a little bit. I'm not too sure exactly how I'm going to structure that. I have a couple of different ideas, but if you guys want to get in early, and that's a good time to do so. Not required though, but I would really appreciate your support if you guys did decide to do so. So I had to get that out of the way. Let's go on to let's see. Just sent you a DM pic, Johnny. All right, I'll go check it out in a second. Josh, hello everyone, good to see you. H44, hit the likes, thank you, I do appreciate that. Josh 032 1646, we will not take 48k, just crash below that level. Yeah, that's definitely possible as well. Zero, destroy the like button. I really do appreciate that, Prathish. Excellent, we have time. Yes, definitely, we'll check that out. Fairdesk KYC. So KYC is optional at the moment. It's not mandatory. So you can sign in without verifying your identity. That's one of the things I was looking for when it comes to an exchange that I wanted to go ahead and use. Besides like the UI, they also have proof of funds and everything. So I really do like the platform. But yeah, KYC is optional. It's not mandatory. All right, let me just do ETH and LTC quick, and I promise I'll get to your guys' coins. I just want to get this out of the way to make sure you guys don't miss anything. Long story short, for ETH, almost the same principle. The question is, we have an ABC. If this is going to be the bearish option, this is going to be an A. We have an ABC for a B, and we're eventually going to come down, put in a lower low. Most bearish option. Bullish option is that we have this ABC here in the white is the end of the bear market. We're looking at this as an ABC to an A. Maybe come down and put in, maybe this is a B wave and that's it, and we continue higher. Or if this is a more longer term bullish, shorter term bearish idea, This is going to be the A wave. We're going to come down, do a B wave down here, and eventually come up and continue higher. Either or is possible, but just keep that in mind, the levels. Let's go over the trades and the support and the resistance levels quick. So basically, I'm long off of this bullish ABC off of 1733. And then as well as I showed you guys a short setup here, but I am short off of this setup. So if we can continue, this will be the setup to do so. Let's see. KYC is the devil. I agree. D-Shuffle, I agree. I would recommend not KYCing if you can. Johnny, what are you hodling and DCAing into for the bull run? Any updates? To be honest, Leaf, it's the same. So I am DCAing BTC off of previous supports. All right, so I DCA'd a little bit here. I DCA'd a little bit here. If we come back down to test 19, I'll DC a little bit. But guys, I'm talking like a couple percentage. I'm not going heavy. But if we do go ahead and come back down below 15.4 and come back above, I'm going to be putting a much more significant chunk into my DCA position on BTC here. When it comes to ETH, same principles. I might sprinkle a little bit on the way down, but if we cross back below 876, I am buying heavy. For it comes to alts, pretty much the only altcoin I am buying with any heavy volume is KDA. If you guys want to know why, I can go into it. Long story short, I see a very, very, very huge opportunity when it comes to KDA. I definitely think there is a lot of room to the upside, and I definitely think this has a chance to me, like I said, this is how I approach my actual trading. I think this coin is a grand slam opportunity. So I don't really buy too heavily into a lot of coins. I like to kind of sprinkle a little bit. I mean, if I am going to buy heavy, it's going to be BTC, ETH, LTC, the main coins. But I'm changing it up a little bit this run. I'm going heavy into KDA. Ideally, I'm looking for about 30 cents. If we go down a little bit lower, that's when I'm going to be buying a big chunk. I've been sprinkling a little bit between here and $1. I've been buying like a little bit, just kind of every week buying a little bit. Once you got back and tested this level, I bought a little bit more. But I'm definitely going to be going ahead and actually really buying a big bag once you get back down to like 36. I forgot the actual support level. About 30 cents. So if we can go ahead and test that previous local support at around 30 cents, that is going to be a huge region for me to buy. So I'm taking a big chance on that, but it's about home runs, right? We hit home runs here on the channel. All right, so basically that was it for ETH. I'm long, short. I'm looking for either 879, if not 1074 for the short setup. And if we are going to break, now for ETH is a little bit different. All right, for ETH, there's really no resistance above besides the previous high around 21.55. So if we break around 21.55, I honestly don't see a reason to why BTC can't test 35.71. That's going to be a huge pivot for me. I see the name change for the channel, Home Run Crypto. To be honest, Leaf, that's actually not bad. That's actually not bad. I kind of like that. That's actually not bad, Leaf. I'm gonna write that down. If I do end up changing that, and the channel works out well, I will find a way to repay you. That's actually not a bad idea. Let's do LTC quick. Homeless crypto. that's a good one too. Okay, so for LTC, unfortunately, guys, I just did not take this trade. I was being very silly. I said I was going to, but I have too many trades open. I didn't want to, and if I was going to take this trade, it was going to be with probably a half or a third of the risk that I would usually use. But for LTC, the main position I'm looking for Oh, sorry about that. The main position I'm looking for is going to be a short setup around 106. So if we can maintain below 106 after we completed this ABC, this is going to be a short setup. But there is a long position here. So if this is going to go higher, it'd be off of this setup. But to be honest, I'm going to hold more weight on the short setup, but absolutely can't. It can absolutely do either or. Let's see. All right, let's do, what was it? Matic? You guys say Matic? Sorry, Matic, BCH, and XLM. Right? Let me know if I missed anything else. All right, let's do Matic. Oh, Matic is going for it. Yeah, it's up 6%. All right, so let's talk about what is going on with Matic. So Matic, it does not, if you guys were shorting it, unfortunately, this is a moment to where you pick up setup and you just let it, let the opportunity come to you. Don't try to chase, right? In this kind of scenario, you can go ahead and trace ABC after ABC. If you really want to, you can make any one of these an ABC. The problem is you get into a situation to where it becomes, you're trying to catch every top, right? Don't do that. To me, the setup that matters the most is this one here. Or in this case, this one. Yeah. So if I would not be in a trade right now, if I got stopped out, let it ride. Don't try to take the smaller entry. Wait for 71 cents to be reclaimed. If we can reclaim below it, fantastic. If not, you just got to let it go. You just got to let that go. That's pretty much it. Let's do BCH. I have BCH on my list. Man, BCH. All right. I mean, it hasn't really moved much since, but I'm so upset. Sometimes I look at this, I just get sad. Unfortunately, BCH was not on my radar. But look at this, guys. You had a clear as day ABC. And you might have gotten stopped out 1 or 2 times, but this was still what, like a 20 risk to reward, 25 risk to reward ratio? Something crazy. 3.5%. See, you use 3.5%. Yeah, even better, a 57. 47 risk reward ratio. That's huge. If you took a 3% risk trade on this, you'd be up 150% of your account in one trade. Incredible. Let's see. What else was on that list? Matic, BCH, XLM. Okay, so right off the bat, XLM, very similar situation to this. Almost reminds me of LTC a little bit. The reason why this reminds me of LTC is because we were in a situation where XLM was at a very, very significant downtrend, and basically it was one of those scenarios to where you wait for one or the other. You either wait for a lower low to be formed down here, or you get the higher high. Either you get the lower low or get the higher high. In this case, you got the higher high off of this previous setup. So now all you're looking to do is short, and I would just hold this if you guys aren't shorting this, or if you guys are shorting this. If you guys are taking a short on XLM, let it ride. This is a setup that can absolutely carry you lower. I don't see a reason why to let this go. Now, if I zoom in a little bit, if you get into a situation to where price maybe does something like this, maybe put in one more low, come up and continue, that could be a good hedge position. In this point, you're allowing price to figure itself out. You have 2 points of interest or 2 trades that can possibly play into larger ideas. And we'll talk about that once time comes. But at the moment, I really don't see anything too significant for XLM besides that short setup. That was a great short setup. Did I miss anything else? D-shuffle, does that help? Let me know if that helps. That gives you a good idea. Fortunately, there's not too much information to go off of besides the larger setup, but at the moment, that is the best case, or that's the only larger significant setup that I see for XLM. Let's see. I'm currently out of all positions. I see where you're looking at. Is there anything that you not financially advise us to get into right now? When it comes to, is there anything that you not financially, okay. So when it comes to me not giving financial advice, because I know I know what you're trying to say. At the moment, just wait. If you're not in any trades, it becomes a waiting game. If you can try to get a re-entry back up here for a short, I would try it. I really don't see any like longer term long positions you can take up here. How's EDA doing? ADA still kind of going sideways. They do it XRP. Unfortunately, the only thing I can see is playing shorts. If you're not in any long trades, unfortunately, this you might have to be waiting a while. I don't see anything that kind of sticks out as a good position. But yeah. But if you're hodling, I think it's always good to hodl, just because in case in this position, like let's say you didn't take any trades, you're not in any trades, at least you have a spot back to give you a little bit something for just being patient. Worst case scenario, if you are still bearish, just hedge yourself with shorts. But I don't know what kind of position you're in, Darren. That's great, dude. I'm more of a holder than trader, so I'll wait for lower price asses. Wow. Lower price. I meant to say price action, but I don't know why I said. Johnny, can you check Nifty? Yes, let's do Nifty. What's the best exchange for that? Oh, okay. Is it this one, Nifty 50? Niraj, let me know. Prathish, playing this drinking game every time Johnny says, let's see. You take a shot of something. All right, you keep reminding me, Alif, and I gotta stop myself. Thank you. Not financial advice, absolutely. Just reading charts, bro. Exactly. Not being in a position is a trading position. Exactly. That's another good one as well. Okay, so this is the one. I was about to say it again. I was about to say it again, Alif, but I didn't. So let's take a look. Change it up. Let's take a look. So for Nifty 50, I almost said, you got me on the part again. I keep doing it again. So for the Nifty 50, what I see is a very large ABC. This is kind of concerning, right? Keep in mind, since we are significantly above this pivot, we do have a chance to break up to the upside, right? Is this the all-time high for this? Like, there's no higher price action for this, right? This is it? Okay. So if this is going to be a higher price, or the all-time high, keep in mind, what is going on here? Just keep in mind, if we get back below, what is that? Is that the right? There. If we get back below around 18,580, that is going to be a significant bearish pivot. I personally think when it comes to this, I think it has more room, because I am judging this based off of the S&P. And to be honest, the S&P has a lot of room. The US markets pretty much lead global markets in general. So I definitely think when it comes to the Nifty 50, there could be room for more upside. But if the S&P does turn here, and this turns into a, let's say, a much larger A to a B to a C, then keep in mind, keep an eye out on that. All right, so not financial advice, but when it comes to the Nifty 50, keep an eye on that. If you want to short it, go ahead, because we could be in a scenario to where the SPY could be topping out. We could be making another leg to the downside, but that's what I would do. Not financial advice, but that's how I would approach it. I haven't learned how to trade at all, D-Shuffle. Is there a reason why? Would you like to learn? I can show you the way. I will be dead. I'm sorry, guys. All right. I will. If a leaf like tells you that in the beginning of the stream, I'll start to catch myself. But I'm just going in the flow of things, just trying to figure stuff out and kind of go on like through the motions. And I just, for some reason, and is part of my vocabulary. I'm sorry at this point. This is what it is. Let's see. Just did it again. Did it again. All right, Josh Fee, let's take a look at what you had to send me. I'm sorry I didn't read that message before. Yeah, I see your point. I don't know, Josh. When it comes to the timing of that, I know things can change, but for me personally, I just don't think we're in the time and place to be too bullish right now. I could be wrong, but I just don't see it. At all, dude. Just got into crypto about a year and a half ago. What, the previous was at the end of the bull market? Well, if you're interested in learning more, unfortunately, D-Shuffle, like, what I'm gonna say is that when you're getting into trading, there's gonna be a lot of stuff out there that's gonna seem very good, and unfortunately, when it comes to the perspective of trading, it's very skewed. What is realistic in trading? You're gonna come across a lot of things. A big one that's been popping up recently is ICT and his concepts. ICT does a really good job of, like, I do like his fundamental principles when it comes to trading price action. I'm not the biggest fan of how he kind of, how do I say this? I'm not the biggest fan of the mindset of that he has found the secret. Like, he knows he has the keys of the kingdom. He has the keys to the Lamborghini. Like, he knows, like he is the one that cracked the code. I think that's a bunch of, I don't know how to explain that, but I'm not the biggest fan of that. And also, he's taken the idea of trading actual price action and has made it a lot more complicated than it has to be. Like, liquidity sweeps in ICT's methods are literally just ABCs. And for some reason, people love the idea of taking something that's complicated and thinking almost the same thing, that this is the formula that you have to use in order to be successful. Unfortunately, that's just not the case. Trading is hard. Don't get me wrong. Trading is difficult, but it doesn't have to be as difficult as you might perceive it to be. When it comes down to it, oh, and you cracked my neck. Oh, that hurt. When it comes down to it, when you do things like stick to larger time frames, don't use too many indicators, don't use very complicated methods like Elliott Wave, you'll find that sticking to the basics and rolling with that is going to carry you a lot farther and be more consistent than scalping on a 5-minute is, using all these crazy indicators, trying to figure out exactly what every single little bit of price action is going to do. Yes, can that make you a lot of money? Absolutely, but it's very, very difficult, and 99.9% of you can't even do it. You know, I'm a good trader, all right? I consider myself to be a very good trader, but try to navigate every single smaller time frame move. It's hard, and not even it's hard for me to do it consistently. Can I do it? Yes, but there's a reason why I trade larger time frames. If I could make some ridiculous amount of money trading the smaller time frames, trading every single little move, I wouldn't be doing this. But I've been through it. I've done it in the past. I've tried it. Haven't made money off of, I guess, quote unquote, smaller moves. Yes, I have, but it isn't consistent. Absolutely not. And it is way harder, way more stressful. The goal of this channel and the goal of how I approach things is to give you guys trading, or to allow you guys to use trading as something that's more passive, something that can help you, right? When it comes to making money, upgrading your monetary lifestyle, etc. You also got to understand that trading is not a wealth creator, it's a wealth multiplier. All right, I always have to say this. You know, we took about $1,200 and we're sitting at about 2,000, but I have a feeling after this next set of price action that is going to happen, or whatever happens in price action next, it's going to carry us a little bit higher. And I personally think that we're going to be sitting in a position to where we're going to double our account. All right, we double our account in about 8 months, 9 months, depending on when this happens. And taking $1,000 and turning it to $2,000, you know, it's okay. It's not that significant. It's 200%. If I took that same percentage and let's say I worked with $1 million, well, I took $1 million and turned it into 2 million. I did the exact same percentage, but the amount is, what is that? 10, 100, 1,000 times more. I can't do the math. So when I say trading is a wealth creator, wealth multiplier, it's because it's a lot easier to 2x, 5x than it is to with 100x, 1,000x something. You know, I was able to take a small amount of money and turn it into a very large sum at the top of the bull market. I was lucky. I came in at the right time, used good principles, and it just happened to work out for me. Doesn't mean it's going to happen to you guys. So I don't want you to take the idea that, look, if I was able to take a small amount of money and turn it into a large amount, doesn't mean that it's realistic for everyone. There's a lot of things to consider when it comes to be able to accomplish something like that. So how I like to approach trading is a little bit more realistic, right? Think of trading as a secondary job, or think of something that is meant to be more passive for you, right? Unless you have a lot of money that you're sitting on that you can play with, making a full-time living out of trading is not realistic for a majority of you. But it could be a nice supplementary income that you can make on the side, right? So, like, I know people who work full-time jobs who still do this. And there's nothing wrong with that. If anything, I think that's the preferred route. I prefer you guys to treat trading as a secondary source of income to help you kind of, you know, make money a little bit faster, but it's not going to take you out of working a full-time job right away. You're going to have to go at it for a very long time. And the more money you have, the less time you need. But if you don't have that much to play with, just keep in mind, it's going to be very hard to do so. I always do this every stream, but I feel like I have to drill this into your guys' head. And I'm not doing this to be mean or anything. Like, you guys have to have a realistic understanding, a realistic expectation of what trading is. And if you don't have a realistic perspective of what trading is, I'm sorry, but you're doomed. You're doomed from the start. I can't help you. So let's do an example. Let's say you have $1,000, right? At this rate, at the moment, we're making about 5 to 10% a month, right? So I like to do it right in the middle, around 7.5%. All right. And keep that in mind, the S&P averages about 10% a year. If you can do anything more than that, you're doing really good. So we're able to almost do that in a month. So let's say we do this for 2 years. We took $1,000 and turned it to $5,000. All right, so let's take that same amount and let's do $10,000. We just took 10K and turned it to 50K. It's the exact same percentage gained, but it's 10 times the amount of money. What I personally think people should do is, let's say you have $1,000. Let's say you work a job, or let's say you work a job and say you want to make a little bit more money. Pick up something on the side. Save a little bit more money out of your paycheck. Sell stuff like do a side hustle, do something to make a little bit extra money. Let's say you could add $500 a month into your trading account for the next 2 years. Now remember, actually, let's do this. So 1,000 to 5,000 in 2 years with no additional money. If you took $500 a month, that $1,000 now turns into 36K. Now I know you're additionally adding $12,000, But at the same time, you got to understand is that it's about creating, or it's about what you can turn into it, or what you can create out of the side money. And what this also allows you to do is, if you have $1,000 and let's say you're new to trading, if you lose $1,000 and let's say you're still working and saving money on the side, you don't have to worry about losing everything you have, because you have something to supplement it. I think taking this route is a great way to allow you to make mistakes and mess up without just completely destroying your account, and also possibly destroying your lives if you're not smart with it. If you're going to be stupid and reckless and you lose everything, what are you going to do? So I think taking this route is actually a lot safer and a lot more consistent, and it will help you guys achieve a lot more in trading, because one, you start out small, knock out the mistakes in the beginning, right? From there, you can also implement more money and supplement more. So if you keep making mistakes, you're not, starting from a higher level. Like, let's say if you had $10,000 and let's say you mess it up, you just lost 10 grand. But let's say you had $1,000, right? And over the course of the next 2 years, you worked your way up, you put in an extra, $12,000. So now you initially have a $13,000 balance, but because of your trading and because you're doing well, you grew that up to 36,000. You want to be a little bit more realistic? If you're new, I say 5% is a good goal. So if you could take $1,000 over the course of 2 years, make 5% a month, and turn it into $25,000, that's a good chunk and change, especially if you only have $1,000 to play with. It's not bad. Let's see. Maybe go over setting up conditionals with stop losses on trigger trade, so D Shuffle can learn how to trade. I think he should learn the strategy first if he wants to. D Shuffle, like I said, if you want to, if you're interested, and also you can message me. If any of you guys are here in chat watching, you guys can message me and take a shot. Did I say it? Did I say it? Shoot. But if you guys here on Discord, you have any questions about trading strategy or trading in general, feel free to message me on Discord, DM me after the stream. If you guys want to learn more, all the links in the description below. If you guys want to join the Discord, learn more about trading and ABCs, would love to have you. It's not required, but it would be nice to go ahead and not only allow me to help you guys, but also help support me if you guys are interested. But for example, like right now we're sitting about $2,000, 7.5%. Even still, like let's say I put like $150, something small. All right, that's still something. 2K into 20K in 2 years, that's still something. So yeah. And if you want to be crazy, let's say you work, let's say you have like 20K. Let's say you work a really good job. You have 20K, and let's say you have an extra $1,000 a month to put in your account. In 2 years, you can turn out to a whole lot of change. Let's say you do this for 5 years, and let's say you do this for 5% for 5 years. That's a whole lot of change. Do you use leverage? Yes, I do use leverage. So leverage is a lot of people use leverage in the wrong way. Leverage is a way to expose trading your full account without exposing it. All right, if that makes sense. Let's say you have $1,000. It allows you to trade with the volume of $1,000 without actually using $1,000. As well as you can make a lot more with leverage trading. But the caveat to that is obviously you can absolutely wreck your account if you're not careful. If you are going to use leverage, always. This, I will say this 1,000 times. If you guys don't use the risk to reward calculator, all right, this is a free website, all right? Do not pay for something like this. I will post this in chat. If you guys want to go ahead and use this, definitely use it. But use that link. Get used to the calculator. Well, basically what this does is this helps you be on top of making sure you're using the right risk parameters. So for example, let's say you have $2,000. Let's say you want to risk 3%. All right. This will, if you keep those parameters the same, it'll tell you what leverage to use. It'll tell you how much margin, how much to risk of that. And it'll tell you, you know, using the right stop loss, it'll tell you exactly what you need to put in. And as you win or lose, let's say you lose, let's say you lose a couple trades. So let's say you lost this one. You're going to be at about 1940. All right. You lose again. You can see the amounts change as you win or lose. Or let's say you take 2,000. Let's say you hit a 5 or let's say you hit a 6.5 risk reward ratio trade, or say a 5 risk reward ratio trade just to be safe. All right, $300. You made $300. You can see now the amount that we're using is growing. It's about making sure you're sticking to the right percentage. So always use the risk reward calculator. Always, always, always. Even if you're not leverage trading, always use this. But guys, thank you so much for stopping by, man. I feel like I'm addressing one person. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. If you guys want to like the video, comment, subscribe if you haven't. I would love to have you on the channel. Also, we'll appreciate the support. It really does mean a lot to me when you guys come in, say hello, ask me questions, kind of navigate trading together. Hopefully, I can help you, some of you guys. You know, I'm speaking way too fast. I hope I can help you guys turn into winning traders. That's the main goal of this. Hopefully, we can make some money, make some moolah. Johnny, 29,865 continuation ABC on BTC. 29,865. Nah, too small. That's too small a leaf. One of the biggest things that I've learned about continuation setups is that, like, I'm not regretting this. All right, just want to let you guys know that, remember when we took this setup here and we took the continuation setup and we took profit off of this region? In hindsight, I should have been way more patient. I should have waited a little bit. Even though I would have got a little bit more out of that trade setup, I think in this case scenario, being very patient, or even up here, I probably would have taken it up here. So 26.9. When it comes to these continuation setups, I have to be more patient. I have to be more patient. Let's see. Garage. Oh, sorry, no, 29,685. I think I know which one you're talking about. It's still too small, a leaf. If it's anything in this region, it's too small. Right now, we can see a short entry at 30,440. Is that a good short? 30,440. Too small, leaf. Or sorry, I keep saying leaf. Too small in the Raj. I personally would wait for the 31K re-entry. That's just me. Let's see. Oddcessive. Hey man, how are you? I found you through Kite's channel. Great content and explanation of the ABC strategy. Right now, there's a short entry on MTL. Thank you so much, Oddcessive. That's for some reason that I like my brain pauses when I read that name. But thank you so much for checking out the channel, man. Kite is the reason why I'm here. I was a viewer just like you guys on his channel, try to absorb as much information as I can, and I ended up turning nothing into something. And we connected through that, and he's one of my really good friends now. I love him to death, and I wouldn't be here because of him. So shout out to Kite, and thank you so much for stopping by from Kite's channel, man. He is a great guy, smart kid. I aspire to be like him one day. I have the trading strategy. I have the trading stuff down pretty pat, but I don't know. Maybe if I just need to practice more, but he has such a good way with explaining things that's what I aspire to be, is someone who does a great job at explaining philosophy and all that stuff. He's just really good at that. So for me, you know, he's still someone I look up to as a trader, even though I pretty much have the strategy down pat. Yeah. Let's do MTL. Let's see what's the best exchange for that, Otsetsev. Oh, is it just metal? Wait. Is it a stock or is it a crypto? Let me know. What's happening with your channel with Kite? Oh, no. It's a crypto pair. Okay. I just want to make sure. So I'll go over that in a second. Unfortunately, we were in the swing of things. Oh, let me go over this first and I'll talk about that, Alif. Whoa. Okay. What you're saying right now, there's a short entry on MTL. What's the best exchange for this? Let me know what the best, or let me know what exchange you use to chart this. I'm stuck between Binance and KuCoin. I'm gonna stick with Binance. So when it comes to MTL, I think I know which one you're talking about. I think you're talking about this ABC. To be honest, I probably would aim for the bigger one. Oh, Femex. Okay, let's do Femex. Okay. Same idea. Same idea. So you are correct. There is a short setup, but in this kind of situation, zoom out a little bit further, you can see there's another pivot of an ABC here. All right, we came up to test it, but we didn't break it. So ideally, you can take that if you want, but I would prefer, not financial advice, but I would prefer if you go ahead and actually, if you just wait and take the bit larger setup. That's what I would do. What's happening? Okay, so I don't see anything else for this coin. But yeah, I would personally wait for the $1.55 9 entry. That's what I would wait for. KuCoin went to the dark side with KYC. Yeah, it's unfortunate. I have a very, very strong feeling that a lot of these exchanges are going to do so. So I have a plan in case that is the case. But yeah. Thanks. No problem, my friend. No problem, Excessive. Good. Thank you so much for stopping by. Really do appreciate coming by, saying hello in chat. Does mean a lot to me. All right, so let's talk about Beyond the Wicks. So at the moment, we were on a roll. Stuff was happening. We were pumping out content. And unfortunately, Kite got sick at about like 2 to 3 weeks in. And this is when he got really sick. So let's see if I can look it up. Oh, we lost subscribers. Okay. Let's do... So if you guys are interested, all right, we do have Beyond the Wicks channel. All right, so we haven't uploaded this on this channel for a while. I was waiting for a opportunity, and I am working on this, guys. Unfortunately, I don't like to go ahead and make videos using my green screen. I just don't think it's that professional. So I had to kind of move stuff around and get myself an area where I can record videos, and I am actually working on building that area to where into a recording space. So I waited for the end of or beginning of this month to do so, and then I'm setting that up at the moment. I have some stuff I want to talk about. So me personally, I don't know, because Kite has his own schedule going on as well. I'll start posting more videos, and maybe we can get back on the streak of uploading more. The goal of Beyond the Wicks is to give you guys more concrete, good, fundamental information about trading in a pre-recorded context. So a lot of the ideas and philosophies and other things that we talk about here on this channel and Kite's channel on the live streams, we're going to just condense it and talk about it specifically on Beyond the Wicks. And ideally, we're going to be making content together. We're going to be streaming together. We're going to be doing videos to where we go ahead and actually do the same stuff, but in a combined effort. So very excited for that. But eventually I will get down to doing this. I have a list of stuff I want to do, and I think not until I get a lot of those complete, then I can start recording. I'm not trying to make any excuses. I just want to make sure I get the best looking content available for you guys. So if you guys want to check it out, you can. It's gonna be a little while until we upload, but these videos are fantastic. I really love the concept of what we're doing here. I'm actually very, very excited. So that's definitely still in the works, but at the moment we just got to take a pause, but we will get back into that. Let's see. Can you check out Quant if possible? Yeah. QNT. All right, so on the larger time frame for Quant, what I see right off the bat is we're looking at this as an ABC. That is your major pivot. So we can get back below and cross back above. That's going to be a good entry. I don't think we did. No, we didn't. That is the larger setup. There is a smaller one here, but to be honest, guys, when it comes to Quant, I do not like how choppy this was in between. So if you were going to take that entry, I mean, you would have got destroyed. You would have had a terrible time with this. So me personally, when it comes to these types of scenarios, I just wait for the 93. So I would wait for this entry here. All right, if we come back above, or sorry, if we, I think there's another scenario. In the case that we do possibly pump here and we don't test $94, there's a good ABC off of this pivot here. Oh wait, no, nope, I'm wrong. This pivot. Yes, this pivot. Excuse me. This is being A to, I mean, that's a terrible look. Wait a minute. A, B, C, A. Okay. For some, let me zoom in because I'm trying to navigate the smallest ones. And this is some crazy music right here. So it looks like if this ABC is an A, B to a C. I don't like that one bit, but it does. I mean, you could get another B wave here or another extension for a B wave. But to be honest, if we are going to dump, I concede $94 being the next level we test. But at this point, it's an either or. So either we get across below $94 and then bump, or we get back up to 116, test 94, and then go up. Either or is possible, but $94 is a key level to keep an eye out on. Oh, shoot. Is BTC still pumping? Oh no. Blasted to the upside. See how the trades are doing. I haven't looked at my I honestly haven't looked at my trades in a very long time. Probably been like 3 or 4 days. Yeah, fair it is. Come on. Now, unfortunately, my smaller account is on my phone. It just makes it easier for me. I'll take a screenshot and show you guys. Where is Fairness? I have too many accounts. That's that one. So I need this one. Verification code. Let's see. Johnny, check out my meme coin YD. Sorry, WDYM. WDYM. What do you mean? What do you meme? Did you not sell this, Alif? Not financial advice, man, but if you got a 10x on this, I would take it and run. I think you told me you got in around here. Well, I'll wait for your response. Like I said, I personally think that coins like this, don't try to shoot for Mars, man, or Pluto. Take the moon and take it off the table. He's a 10x, only for a 50x. I mean, as long as you're not, putting any serious amount into it, I'm not going to tell you what you should and shouldn't do. Just be personally. When it comes to my meme coins and how I've done it, I've aimed for a 2 to 3x and gotten the heck out of there as fast as I could. But if you want to shoot for Mars, you absolutely can. Nothing wrong with that. Let me know how that goes. Oh no. BTC pump. It has some utility investing in gaming launch pads. I can see that being something. From a YouTube called FOMO Factory. I've never heard of them. YouTuber. Okay. Yeah, I'll check it out. But I mean, it's too late for me, obviously. Oh no, BTC is going to the upside. Actually, let's try that out. The song was a little intense in the beginning, but I'll give it a shot. All right, not bad. 15x so far, aiming for higher amounts since it's made for a bull run. Okay. Not bad. You got to go for it. Remember, guys, that's the red line here around 31. It's going to be the previous pivot of the larger ABC. If we break above that, I mean, we can talk about higher, like local highs off of smaller trends, but I think ultimately 32,425 is in the cards. I just don't see. I mean, it's possible, and it could be a situation the price this will just constantly put in higher highs, like ever so slightly higher highs. High here. High here, and maybe put another high here just to kind of get people trapped in as many positions as possible. Definitely could be the case. Oh, she's still going for it. All right, guys, let's play some Wordle. We've been on here for an hour and a half. Oh, no. You guys know I will go ahead and keep up. I'll put the smaller time frame up to make sure we don't miss anything. Let's see how price responds. All right, so what is it? Donut and raise. Oh, killing it so far. How long do you think it'll take to make $1 million from trading? It depends on what you're starting out with, Niraj. It really depends on what you're starting out with. I'll pull up the calculator again. Let's do Wordle first, and then I'll come back to that. Donut. Oh, there's no iron. This is weird, like a weird way of doing this now, because we take out a lot of letters in the beginning. It's hard for me to come up with like better answers, if that makes sense. Like, it's hard for me to do so. Something with an O. I don't want to. I try not to use double letters. I was thinking combo, but I don't want to use double O's. I don't want to use double O's. But to be honest, the more I think about it, it's gonna be hard to. Oh, let's do comfy. Okay. So the F and the Y. What do you guys think? You guys have any guesses? Oh, I have one. Oh. Foggy? What? Foggy. Folly? I beat you to it, Heather. I beat you to it. I didn't see your chat. Good guess though. All right, let's talk about Niraj. Niraj's question here. So, to be honest, it really depends on what you're starting out with. Like if you're starting off with $1,000, I'm sorry, my friend. Unless you take that money and hit a meme coin, like if you hit a coin that makes a ridiculous amount of money, just trying to trade off of that, like make like $1,000, it's gonna be almost impossible. Let's say a 5-year rate of return in 5 years you're gonna make 18%. Let's say 10 years. All right, so let's do 10. You can see there's a big difference between 5 and 10 years. Let's do 13 years. Okay, so maybe 11 years, 12 years. All right, so if you start off with $1,000 and you can make a 5% return month over month over the next 12 years, yeah, a million bucks is pretty easy. If you have $20,000, let's say 5% a month, I think it's gonna be like 5 years. No? 6? 7? All right, so 7 years. So 20 times the amount of money from the original one that we started only gave you an extra, it took you only an extra 5 years to do so. Starting with 3K, no official deposit. If you can manage 5% a month, which I think is on the lower end, I think it's possible. I think it's definitely possible. This is what matters the most, right? So let's do 5%. Let's say, I'm going to say 9 years. Okay, so 9 years, no. 11 years. All right, let's say 10 years. All right, so about 10 years. So if you can hit 5% month consistently, or if you can average about 5% a month over the course of 10 years, there you go, you have $1 million. But watch what happens when I go just a little bit up to 7.5. I guarantee you this is probably going to be like 6. Maybe I'm not doing so hot with this. There you go. So if you can get that average to a 7.5, you got it down to 6.5. I would say 6.5 years. All right, so 6 years, 9 months. That's if you can get to 7.5. But over the course of a 6-year period, I think that's a long time. So I would say 5% is more likely. So 5% is more likely, even though that's still pretty hard to do. 10 years is the goal. So if you got 10 years to wait for that, good on you. To be honest, I think you're better off trading, but also investing into, like, don't take all of your money and invest it into like a shit coin. Don't be afraid to invest in some alts. All right, alts are going to carry you. So take your trading profits, sprinkle them into alts. One of them I'm considering doing is possibly sprinkling more money from my trades, my profits, into KDA. Because I will be honest, I've said this plenty of times. I honestly think it is entirely possible for KDA to get to about $50 realistically. All right, so let's say $50. So 50 bucks divided by 0.5968. So let's say you just bought right now. It's an 83x, right? So an 83x. If you wanted to make, even if you made like $100,000, $200,000 off of that. It's a $2,000 investment. I'm not trying to tell you guys what to do. Is this going to happen? I don't know, right? But it's all about taking a very calculated risk. To me, I think KDA is definitely worth trying at the very least. If you take 500 bucks, multiply it by 83, $41,000. That's not a bad chunk of change. So it depends on. I honestly think you can trade. Also, don't be afraid to sprinkle, because if you sprinkle into altcoins, that can help accelerate it pretty fast. I don't know exactly what you're looking for when it comes to like how fast or exactly where it's gonna go at the end, because I really just don't know. But when it comes to possibilities, I think it's a good. You have to be risky. When it comes to starting out small, you have to be risky. If you're not risky, unfortunately, it's gonna be very hard to be consistent enough to actually reach that $1 million goal. I actually really like the song. Let's save it. Let's see. Let's see, Darren. I trade Bybit with mostly ABCs, but I have a good sized stock account. I'm sure I've seen Kite use ABCs on charts like Apple. Any reason you would or would not apply the same ABC method to stocks? At the moment, the only reason why I really don't is because stocks move slow. You know, like if I go to Apple, I know exactly which one you're talking about. Oh, wow. Yeah, it really went off. So let's say you're holding this position. All right, if you bought off of this ABC down here, you'd be up 50%. Now, 50% is nothing to, you know, be ashamed of. That's a great number. But to me, I just don't have that much money. If you have a good amount of money in a stock portfolio, absolutely trade ABCs. But it's going to be pretty slow. You know, how long would have this taken you? About 250 bars. About 8 months, 8.5 months. Now, don't get me wrong. That's a fantastic return on stocks. But for me, we were able, instead of doing 50%, we were able to do 200% trading crypto. So if you have a large amount of money, and eventually that's what I want to do. I want to transition from trading with leverage to buying and holding to just buying and selling stocks on ABCs. That's literally all I want to do. So at some point, yes, I think later on in my career, that's something I'm going to be transitioning to. But at the moment, it's just not for me. I'm focused on trying to make as much money as safely yet aggressively as possible. So like I have nothing against anyone doing this, but it depends on what your goals are. If you have a good chunk of change sitting in a stock account and you don't mind, go ahead and absolutely kill it. If you had $500,000 and you just took that, and let's say you bought $500,000, okay, let's say you bought, realistically, let's say you bought $100,000 worth of apples using a fraction of your account, you made 50%. Congratulations, you just made $50,000 off of that move. You didn't have to do anything. So that's a fantastic rate of return. These opportunities don't happen as much on stocks, I will admit. But when they do, you can make a lot of money on capitalizing on those movements. So that's just me personally. What do you consider a good amount? To be honest, for me, I would say I would need a trading portfolio of about 1 to 1.5 million to even consider doing this, because to me it's just passive. And even with a $1 million account, I wouldn't be trading the entirety of my stack on each trade, but I'd be dedicating fractions of it. So even if you dedicate 5 to 10%, 5% of $1 million is 50K. 50, make 50% of 50K is $25,000. It's not that much. You might have to up it to 100,000, 150,000. You make 50% on 150,000. That's 75K. That's a good chunk of change. So it to me, when I think about doing this, it's about, okay, I've done what I had to do in crypto. Now I'm thinking the long game. I'm thinking I can do this for 10, 20, 30 years. That's my perspective. That's how I would approach it. But I would need at least $1 million, if not more, to consider doing it and still be able to live a good lifestyle. Now, do you have $1 million? I don't know. But just, take the numbers that I talked about and just apply it to what you think is possible. All right, guys. Does anybody else have any other questions? Anything else you want to ask me? I'm probably gonna wrap things up here, just because we've been going on for about 2 hours. I feel bad for not streaming yesterday. I'll have to see what works. I honestly, I don't want to change the schedule. But going forward, if things end up working better on like a Monday, Wednesday, Friday thing, maybe I'll do that. But I will be here tomorrow. So if you guys missed anything, or maybe if something happens, hopefully maybe we have something else to talk about tomorrow, that'd be fantastic. But I will be here tomorrow. I know I was here at 2. I will be here at 1. All right, I just woke up late, took a shower before I hopped on, and my timing is all messed up. So I'll be here at 1 o'clock tomorrow. I'll let you guys know when I'm live. Looking forward to see you then. But until then, let's say goodbye to everyone. All right, so Darren, Niraj, Alif, and if you guys have any questions while I'm doing this, I'll answer it, but I'm gonna start saying goodbye. D-Shuffle, Obsessive, Alif, Niraj, like I said that, Raphael. Wait, how come I can't go up higher than I can now? Armand, Josh V, Pratheesh, Sky Knight, Andre Oliveira, Mark, Jeff Jefferson, AH44, Zero. If I missed you, I'm sorry, but I think that's everyone. Thank you so much, guys. Let's go ahead and do the thing. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Where is the... Okay, pull this. That'd be... That's me. Look at me. Mr. Meeseeks. All right, let me go ahead and get my hand on the button here. I just realized my hat's crooked. Guys, why didn't you say something? Okay. Trying to look as professional as I can. I'm just kidding. I can't take myself seriously sometimes. All right, guys, let's go ahead and do it.